Chapter 13. The Shadow Path. Meeting the parts of ourselves we left behind. Many people come to plant medicine hoping for light, love, peace, beauty, visions of infinite consciousness, moments of breathtaking unity. Sometimes that is exactly what they receive. And sometimes the medicine gently takes them somewhere else, into grief they have never fully felt, into fear they have never fully faced, into memories they thought had disappeared, into anger they believed they had already forgiven, into loneliness they had spent years outrunning. This is not a mistake. Healing does not ask us to become brighter by pretending darkness does not exist. It invites us to become whole. Sometimes wholeness begins by turning toward the parts of ourselves that have been waiting the longest to be seen. The shadow is not the enemy. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung introduced the term shadow to describe the aspects of ourselves that remain hidden from conscious awareness. These may include emotions we have rejected, beliefs we have buried, pain we have avoided, or qualities we learned were unacceptable. The shadow is often misunderstood. It is not inherently evil. More often, it's simply unseen. Imagine a child locked alone in a room for many years. When the door finally opens, the child may not emerge smiling. They may emerge frightened, angry, suspicious, grieving. Not because they are bad, because they have been alone. Much of what we call shadow work is simply opening the door with compassion. What the medicine may reveal. Plant medicines sometimes bring forgotten aspects of ourselves into awareness. Not always through words. Often through symbols, dreamlike imagery, unexpected emotions, body sensations, profound silence, or encounters that feel intensely meaningful. Some people revisit childhood memories. Some experience overwhelming grief. Some become aware of patterns they had never recognized. Others feel nothing dramatic at all. Only a quiet knowing that something within them has begun to soften. Every experience is different. The invitation remains remarkably similar. Can I stay present with what is asking to be seen? Projection and the mirror. One of the most surprising teachers in ceremony is often another participant. The person who irritates you. The one whose breathing seems impossibly loud. The one who appears to be doing it wrong. Sometimes these reactions have nothing to do with the other person. Sometimes they become mirrors. This does not mean every difficult interaction is projection. Real conflict exists. Boundaries matter. Discernment remains essential. Yet, occasionally, the medicine quietly asks, what part of yourself are you meeting through this person? That question alone has transformed many lives. The protectors. Not every difficult experience represents buried trauma. Sometimes we encounter the remarkable intelligence of our own protective strategies. Perfectionism, control, people-pleasing, hyper-independence, constant productivity, emotional numbness. These parts of ourselves developed for reasons. They helped us survive. Healing rarely asks us to hate these protectors. It asks us to thank them. Before gently helping them discover that survival is no longer the only way to live. For those who have served, veterans often carry extraordinary strengths, discipline, courage, loyalty, the ability to remain steady under unimaginable pressure. These strengths deserve deep respect. At the same time, survival sometimes requires emotional compartmentalization. What once protected life may later make receiving life more difficult. For some veterans, ceremony can feel like opening doors that have remained sealed for decades. Grief arrives, love arrives, fear arrives, relief arrives. Not because something is wrong, because something long held is finally safe enough to move. The battlefield has changed. The mission is no longer survival. The mission becomes wholeness. Walking beside the fire. Shadow work is often described as walking through darkness. Perhaps another image feels even more compassionate. Imagine walking beside a fire. Too close and you may become overwhelmed. Too far away and nothing changes. Healing often asks us to stay close enough to feel the warmth without becoming consumed by the flames. This is why preparation matters. This is why community matters. This is why integration matters. No one should feel they must walk through every fire alone. Integration is an act of love. Insight alone does not create transformation. Relationship does. Journal. Rest. Talk with trusted companions. Work with skilled therapists or integration practitioners when appropriate. Create art. Move your body. Spend time beneath trees. Cry when tears arrive. Laugh when laughter returns. Eat nourishing food. Sleep deeply. Allow your nervous system time to reorganize. Healing is not completed because the ceremony ends. Often, that is where the gentlest work begins. What about alcohol? Many people choose to reduce or avoid alcohol during periods of deep healing, especially around ceremonial work. For some, this creates greater clarity, emotional sensitivity, and continuity with the intentions they have been cultivating. Others make different choices. The important question is not whether a rule has been followed. It is whether your choices support the relationship you are trying to build with yourself. Stewardship asks us to notice, not merely obey. Begin building your optimal field. The next time an uncomfortable emotion arises, pause before trying to eliminate it. Place a hand on your heart. Take one slow breath. Then ask a different question. What part of me is asking to be loved right now? You may be surprised by the answer. Another page in your journal. Write these words across the top of a blank page. What have I spent the most energy trying not to feel? Write honestly. Then ask, what has this part of me been trying to protect? Finally, write one last question. If I met this part of myself with compassion instead of judgment, what might change? Sit quietly. There is no need to hurry. Some answers arrive like lightning. Others arrive like sunrise. Both are worthy of trust. Becoming whole. The shadow has never been asking to be defeated. It has been asking to be understood. The frightened child, the grieving heart, the angry protector, the lonely veteran, the exhausted parent, the ashamed teenager, the person who learned long ago that vulnerability was dangerous. None of these parts are asking for punishment. They are asking for relationship. Perhaps that has always been the deeper purpose of healing, not becoming someone new, remembering that every part of you belongs at the table. The medicine does not punish, it reveals. Love does not erase the darkness. It teaches us how to walk through it without abandoning ourselves. And perhaps that is what wholeness has been all along. Not becoming all light, but discovering that even the places we feared most can be held with compassion. Because the opposite of shame has never been perfection. It has always been love.